It's fine. I can fix it later.
Okay. There we go. I think we're live. Okay.
Yeah, we are. And then
all right.
You're doing the...
I'm going to answer the questions, yeah.
Okay.
So I just have to... Good evening, everyone. Bear with us. We're getting things started. Thank you for everyone coming on tonight or tomorrow at your leisure.
Let us know if you can hear us.
Amanda, can you hear us? Hey, ladies. Is that a yes? You can hear us?
Because last time we had some sound issues.
I know it's lagged too, because... Okay. We are short 2 members tonight, so just bear with us. They had family emergencies tonight and couldn't make it. And with that being said, anything that needs to be voted on tonight will have to be held off due to not having enough board members to vote. So we'll get started. Again, thank you for everyone joining us either now or later. First off is new business. The playground. The PTO was finally able to complete the playground sensory at Slatington. Thank you for our 2 volunteers that came out to help us, Jess S. and Elizabeth W.
Ladies first.
I even asked you. Do you want to stop me to stop?
What?
You want me to stop?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to hold off.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I even said she was just
Sorry. Yes. No.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I'm going to go over the minutes from last meeting just to catch everybody up. We reviewed what had gone on in the administrative meeting in August with the school board members and the principals. We discussed the purchasing the supplies for the playground, and then we talked about our fundraisers upcoming. We have the Sweet Fundraising Solutions, which just ended the other week, as well as our food truck fundraiser that was in September. We had a request for ideas for virtual activities to do with our community, because we're having trouble coming up with stuff for that. Our new board member nomination was Kristen Zook. And in open discussion, we brought up Teacher Appreciation Days and the best way to recognize all the employees. And we discussed joining the private Facebook community group. So that was last meeting.
How's the treasurer?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I have our treasurer report from beginning on September 1st and ending on September 30th. Our beginning balance on September 1st in our bank account was $22,690.07. We did have 2 deposits into our bank account. The first was Amber Wells repaying the accidental purchase on Amazon for $7.41. And the other deposit was our donation from our food truck fundraiser. Altogether, we had a donation of $225 from Rita's and PFG Pizza. So we had a total number of deposits of $232.41. We did have some expenses as well. On September 3rd, we needed to reprint some bank statements from July through September of 2019, and they charged us $1 a page, and it was 5 pages, so it was $5. We bought the paint and supplies for the sensory path at Peters for the blacktop.
So that was Peters and Slatington, just so...
Oh, yeah, that was Peters and Slatington. That was the gallons of paint and then the supplies that we needed, tape and rollers and paintbrushes. That was $667.93. We had some PTO supply purchases, envelopes and file folders, $3.18. Some staples for $1.90. Paper for our flyers for the food truck fundraiser, a file box and paper clip, $60.10. We bought a for deposit only rubber stamp to endorse all of the checks that we receive. That was $21.19.
Best purchase ever.
I purchased postage stamps so we can continue to mail in our bills for $11 even. We paid our past due amount as approved in our September meeting for Google domains, $43.28. And we also paid for our annual insurance renewal to PTO today for $404. So we had total expenses of $1,217.58 and that left us with a balance on September 30th of $21,704.90. What I have in the bank? Oh, that's the bank statement. Okay. Do you want me to detail this at all, or you want to save that for next time?
Next time.
Okay.
Until it's completely finished.
Okay.
Also, if you guys want to see the minutes from last meeting, the agenda from tonight, or the is the treasurer's report up there yet?
It is not.
Okay. These are things you guys can find on our website. There is a link on the website for these things. So if after the meeting you want to go there, check things out, you are welcome to do so.
Yeah,
You just put this on, correct? You don't put this
no,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
making
the
sure.
just the actual report. The website has been completely updated. The balance was paid for. We just had the annual renewal for our domain that came through. So everything is updated completely. Like it's like a whole new website. The information is there. We're good.
Okay.
So back to
Moving right along, today's
the
agenda.
Like I said, both playgrounds are completely done. I did talk to Karen Belts today, the secretary at Slatington, and she also said the children and staff love the sensories we did there. No one's posted that to Facebook, correct? Or did we?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Um,
There is a video it's on the community group, because again, like there's a video with it that shows some of the students, so this is why we put that on the community group. This keeps things from, obviously the kids who are in the video, that we had parent permission to do so, but it keeps just anybody from seeing our kids on the internet.
okay. So
check it out if you haven't seen it already. It did get like a lot of likes and things, so I think most of you had the opportunity to see it. And we did leave some space for future updates at Peters, or at Slatington. Peters has tons of space, but if this turns out to be something that, the students end up really liking, we can always add to it.
like Katya said, we just finished up the Sweet Fundraising Solution fundraiser. It was a huge success. We want to thank everyone who sold. Pickup is tentatively scheduled for October 26th. More details will be posted as soon as we know. Virtual activities.
Time out. Pickup is going to be at my house again. If you participated in Gertrude Hawk last spring, we're doing the same thing again because unfortunately we are not able to have pickup at the school. If you didn't participate in Gertrude Hawk last spring and you don't know what's going on, we will give you all the information for that. But it worked out pretty well last year. Yes. You'll be getting a call about it too and what to do. But it worked out pretty well last year, so we're going to roll with that again this year, and hopefully that will continue to be smooth sailing.
Again, we are still looking for any ideas on things that we could do with the students virtually. It just takes a lot of time to plan these kind of things, and if anyone is willing to help us out to set up maybe a game night on Facebook Live or even Zoom, we just need ideas and manpower to help us get these things accomplished. It was brought to my attention that at Peters School District, they would like the PTO to buy the staff a picnic table or two for outside. Kathy Reese did get approval from Greg Durr. It was okayed by them. So the PTO just needs to vote on something for them if we want to do it. If not, I did do a little bit of research on tables. The cheapest one I found was right around $100, which wasn't bad, I didn't think. This also could be part of their Zen Den money, if need be, I thought. Katya, what do you... I mean,
like in theory, yes, it could be. I mean, what was the purpose of the picnic tables? Like for the teachers to have a place to like eat outside,
and just relax and have, because they're inside all day, and they wanted to be able to go outside, eat their lunch, and just have a breather. It would have to be. She did show me. It would, like where the main office door is. It would be to the right, past I believe the gym doors.
Okay.
There's like shrubbery there, and it would be back in there, so that they're still not visible to students.
Right.
It would be for them to be able to have, quiet time.
This is for Peters, right?
Yes.
Okay. We don't have a Zen Den budget item for Peters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So originally the Zen Den was
for a Zen Den.
Yes.
Too.
Okay.
So originally the Zen Den was to balance the money that we had budgeted for Peters in the Make Peters Pop project. Slatington did not need murals painted. We wanted to allocate a similar amount of money. So we had discussed with Mr. Pine what is something that he could use, and this is how we came up with this Zen Den idea. Obviously, that's all been put on hold because we can't get into the school to create the Zen Den, although this is probably the year that the teachers could really use a Zen Den. So, I mean, it, like Rebecca discussed last month with the budget, it is in the budget. We still have funds reserved for that. Now, Peters then also, of course, expressed that they would be interested in a Zen Den as well. This is a discussion we never even got to get off the ground with Mr. Schneiderite because of the whole COVID thing. So, I mean, I think that we would use it as a keep it completely separate budget item.
The picnic table?
Yes,
Okay.
and not make it part of the Zen Den.
Kristen is watching us. 4 members with, I know there's like 2, I don't know how to tell how many people are actually, I think it's just like 4 people are watching.
There's usually a little thing up in the corner.
That's what I thought.
Where's the little eyeball?
Oh wait, here we go. 10 people
there
are
it is.
watching.
Okay.
Is that something that we can vote on with her being live with us?
I mean, if she's going to vote on it during the live, then we have four voting members.
Okay.
Hi, Kristen.
We can just wait.
It might be easier to just wait.
We'll just wait. Okay. Moving on. Another fundraiser. A parent approached me about an idea for a fundraiser either this year or sometime in the future. And I also have heard of it. It's a bed sheet fundraiser. Basically, it's high quality bedding, like your sheets and your pillowcases. Have you ever heard of this one?
Nope.
I don't know the name.
This sounds
No.
really bizarre.
No. I have a lot of this is a cheerleading event.
Okay.
A lot of cheerleaders do this for their fundraisers. And I know they've had good reviews. It's just something to keep in the back of our heads for a possible future fundraiser.
Kristen Zook actually mentioned at soccer just this week that she had heard about a fundraiser that is a book-a-thon.
Ooh.
This is something we were talking about that would also, it sounds pretty interesting for a PTO. Basically, the kids collect sponsors online or like cash, whatever, but to read a certain amount of books. Like, so you sponsor a child, you know, like $1 a book, and however many books that child reads, then that's how many dollars you owe the child. So, I mean, this sounded really interesting because it's getting the kids to read. It gets the community involved in the education part of it, and it brings in some money for the PTO. So that's another one to think about. It also seems like it's relatively easy to do because, well, you just sit at home and read a book. There's not a whole lot of... You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. It might be a good, like, wintertime fundraiser, especially considering that we don't know what's going on with COVID, and we might all be sitting at home a lot this winter because nothing's open. So, another one to keep in mind.
Okay. Moving on. The Windsor holiday. We need to decide on what we are doing for holiday gifts. We also need to contact district office to see what they are going to allow us to do this year. Generally, the PTO has a Santa Claus, and he goes into both schools and gives each child a gift. We definitely still would like to give the children a gift this year, whether it's us going in and seeing them or dropping them off the night of, and then the teachers distributing them. We also threw out an idea of Santa just being on school grounds in the morning when the kids are dropped off, walking around and waving so there's no contact and letting them know, you know, Santa is watching and is there to see them.
Santa didn't get the Rona. It's all going to be okay.
So this week I will email Mr. Link and Dr. Stoker to see their ideas and what we can do. We also, with the winter holiday, we're talking about doing a vendor event. We need to decide if we are doing it or not because time is running out. This is something I'd like to discuss now. Do we want to do a vendor event? Do we want to try in person? Do we want to do it online? Or do we just want to kibosh it this year and, you know?
Since I am super unfamiliar with most vendor events, raffle, bingo, anything like that, I would have no problem just being like, let's nix it this year. Maybe substitute it with Bookathon. Just because I never participate in like Facebook online sales or anything like that. I mean, I don't even go on Marketplace. And my husband's like, why don't you go on Marketplace? I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to deal with that. So I don't have. So for me, I'm not going to remember to do it. That's me. That's my personal thing with it. And I'm not like, I think you guys were explaining raffles and bingo to me last time. So I mean, I have no idea how any of this works.
The problem we are going to run into with doing it in person, which kind of makes it impossible. It's twofold. Number one, we needed a location, and that would most likely be one of the local fire halls since we cannot use the schools. All of the volunteer fire halls are in huge financial trouble right now because they have not been able to rent out their halls. And this is a big part of how they make their money. They rent out the hall and they run their kitchen and they make their money. So they are not going to be able to donate their space to the PTO as much as any of them would like to do. And I personally don't feel comfortable asking a volunteer fire company that is already hurting for money to then, give the PTO something for free. On top of that, they have occupancy restrictions right now. For example, I was at the Borough Council meeting for Slatington Borough on Monday night at Vigilant Fire Hall. Their max capacity right now is 30 people in the big room upstairs. You can't host a vendor event with only 30 people. I mean, you'd be letting one shopper in at a time, and we would have to be there all day long, basically. So
Kristen just said Vigilant did offer for free, but they run the kitchen. Just heads up.
yeah, but then
But
we're
still.
back to they're at 30 people. If they're running the kitchen and we are, I mean, if we have even 10 vendors, that's already 10 people plus the kitchen plus us. Like, we can only let maybe 2 or 3 people in at a time to actually shop.
Right.
And I just don't think that anyone's really going to make any money that way. I don't want to ask vendors to donate money to us for their spot to then get 5 customers. I just think the way that the restrictions currently are, and they might change and become more restrictive throughout the winter. I personally don't think it's a risk we can take.
She said, "Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that low of a people. I thought it was 75."
Well, there's a sign on the door that says 30 people.
I know you I saw.
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I don't know if they like make exceptions, but yeah, I mean, I had to actually stand outside for the borough council meeting because they were at capacity. They weren't letting people in.
Okay, so at this point, I also do agree with Rebecca. I feel we should maybe just hold off until next year and really get a good one going. I don't want to, do it quickly and it's not a successful event online.
In order for it to be successful online, we would really have to market it hard.
Right.
I mean, I think online sales can be very
Voted to
successful.
cancel.
But I personally do not have the time to sit on Facebook all day, every day, marketing this event.
Right.
So unless one of you out there would like to volunteer to run this fundraiser,
I think that's part of it too. Like, we're already spending so much time online or on computers with our
Right.
kids. Some of us don't want to also
right?
do
Okay.
a Facebook.
So, are you a no also?
I'm totally
okay.
okay with nixing this
So-
for now.
We got 4 no's on holding off on doing the vendor events.
Or 4 yeses on
4.
holding it on.
Yes.
Okay.
For
no's
no's
on
not to
doing
do
it.
it.
You know what I meant. Monthly meetings. Since the schools are virtual on Wednesdays, we find it will be easier until we are back to in person to only have our monthly meetings going forward at night. So as of today, all meetings, instead of having a morning and an evening, they will all be evenings at 6. Oh, I have it 6:30.
Oops.
At 6 o'clock.
I didn't even see that. My bad. I edited the agenda.
Okay. 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all have our kids home Wednesday morning. So we felt like that was probably not the best way to
No.
run a PTO meeting. Also, we felt like you guys probably cannot pay attention to doing school with your kids while watching
Watching
a
us.
PTO live, which would not be a very organized PTO live because somebody's child would be having a crisis. So for the time being, it's evenings with the PTO.
Going on to old business, the food truck fundraiser. Our food truck night was very successful, and unfortunately, because it was so good, the pizza ran out rather quickly. It was neither one of our faults. We just did not plan accordingly, and we did try, like we have brought up many times, to get more trucks there, and it just did not work out. But we do appreciate PFG doing their best in getting us, a fantastic turnout. And Rita's also was there, and they did a good job supplying everyone with a nice dessert. On the topic of food trucks, we need to vote on whether or not we are going to try again in the spring. If we do, we need better planning and need to start now with getting things started.
I think this is a vote we should kind of put to the entire PTO.
Right.
Because, I mean, I personally am all for trying it again because it wasn't difficult to put together per se, but I don't know how everyone else feels about the whole thing. I know that there were some community members that were really upset about there not being enough pizza. it was a planning and communication issue in that we did not understand that there was a limit to the amount of pizzas that PFG is able to make. And nobody expected the turnout that we actually got. So, I mean, the fact that we had good turnout is great, but I don't know how everybody else out there in the community feels about the whole thing. If you would if you hear that it's happening again, would you be willing to try it again? Or would you say, oh, well, that was horrible last time, I didn't get my pizza? Is that something that, where's everybody out there in Facebook world at with this?
Kristen said vote to try again.
We did talk to,
My mind's
so Amber and I did have a conversation with the owner of
Lee.
Yes, we're trying to pull up his name okay. So we did have a conversation with Lee, just to kind of feel out his side of like how things went wrong so he has very graciously offered to help us with the next one. And as far as going to the other food truck vendors himself and saying, hey, I'm doing an event.
I know.
He has his own connections in the food truck vendor world, so he has offered to kind of help us out and among his fellow food truckers to get the word out. However, he did let us know that they are already booking into the spring. Even though they're doing like the wine festivals and the vineyards and stuff like that, they're kind of just making up for anything they would have lost over the summer from not being able to do fairs and other festivals. So he did tell us that if we are going to do it again, we need to start looking for a date now and reaching out to food truck vendors so that we can get it squared away. Most truckers will not give us a definite answer without a date and without also knowing who we're asking to come out.
So the biggest thing on our end, if we would do it, is location also. We're hoping when spring does roll around, there will be more lenient at the school districts and we can do it maybe in like Bulldog Stadium parking lot. We really appreciated Rentschler's letting us use their lot, but if we do it bigger and better, it just wouldn't be feasible doing it there.
Right, like you're going to fit maybe max 3 food trucks in there.
Right.
Because you also have to have parking for the people who are coming.
Right. So if anyone has any suggestions that is in the school district.
What about the Kmart parking lot?
I just don't know.
If we could find out who owns the property and reach out to the developer and find out if they're willing to even rent out the space. I mean, there's people parking up there all the time, and there's a bunch of like tree company trucks that park up there.
Well, right. Those are they do the tree trimming for the electric company. They're
and they're like parked there, Blend or something like that.
I mean, there's that option. There is. What other large parking lots do we have?
There's the one at Slatington Fire Company.
Yes, Slatington Fire Company. We could ask if we could use their parking lot. Frieden's Fire Company also has a large parking lot. That one's a little bit further out, but that kind of accommodates some of our Washington Township people.
We didn't really want to use the covered bridge though, right? We didn't want to ask about that because the gathering is always there.
Yeah, well, the gathering no longer happens apparently.
Oh, okay.
No, they switched to something else.
It just the people who ran it were tired of running it, and you know the way things go.
I think the Slatington Fire Company parking lot, that's pretty large there.
Yeah,
it is,
and it's probably plenty of room for parking and for trucks and people.
They used to run a carnival there.
Well, people could even walk down like the trail to get there. You don't have to worry about parking right there.
Right. So do we want to say yes, let's try it again?
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
I vote I'm game.
And
yes.
so is Kristen.
So, and I don't see any comments on here from anybody that you're totally against it, so.
Yeah, I'm not. And there's people. 5 people watching. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think that Slategale is too far out of the way?
That's a big parking lot too, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And they have a pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And restrooms inside the fire company.
They also have outdoor restrooms.
I haven't been there since
It's
then.
part of the, like, trail stuff there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I know it's a little bit out of the way too, but it's still in the school district.
Yeah.
And it's a large lot.
Okay. So we'll look into those 2 and see what we can come up with. And then, is there a month that we would like to try for? I mean, because I'll start calling, ASAP.
I mean, when are we doing booster? March.
Boosters
correct?
in March. Yes.
What if we were to do it in May? For like an end of the year kind of thing. And then to use the money to kind of balance out our accounts at the end of the year, and then we can come in next year with anything extra, because there's always costs right at the beginning of the year.
Right. So Easter is April 4th. So, I mean, pretty much.
And Mother's Day is May 9th.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
And we have Memorial Day in there too.
Okay.
Do we want to try? What night of the week do we want to shoot for?
Not Thursday.
Wednesday. I think somebody said that Wednesday is a really good night to do it. Like, it's better than Fridays.
Well, Fridays the food trucks are probably going to be pretty committed
Right.
because they've got weekend venues. So we want to look at maybe and Thursdays apparently there's this running food truck festival.
Right.
So
we got May 12th is our meeting that month. So we have that day or May 19th. Like, we could always have our meeting as we're no.
No.
I'm to get you to laugh. So we'll shoot for May 19th.
I think May 19th is a good, because it's also, it's the week before the holiday too, right?
Right. Well,
yeah. Well, the holiday is the 31st,
right.
But it's
the 26th would be the week before the holiday.
Okay.
So May 19th.
I wouldn't want to do it the week before the holiday, because
Okay.
people might be taken off early.
Okay. Kristen's good for May. Amanda, I'm there now. LOL, it's so far.
what, Slategale?
Slategale's far? Amanda?
Well, the other thing with Slategale in May, it will have to take into consideration, is that it will be spring baseball season. I'm assuming spring baseball will be happening this year since fall sports happened. So that's going to, if there's a game slated for that day, that will be a bit of a problem.
No, all those people come there.
Well, actually, yeah, no, it would be absolutely excellent because that would be.
There's only people there.
But we may have to kind of figure all of that out. Slategale's just an idea and an option. Frieden's has a big parking lot above by the fire hall, and then there's the smaller lot for the playground and baseball
I
field.
don't think Frieden's parking lot's going to be big enough.
I think
The one up top is big.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking about parking and travel in and out of that.
Well,
because
that's
Frieden's is such a busy road too.
No,
pulling out and pulling out.
Yeah. But
she said yes.
that because you can use the lower lot for parking and the upper lot for
okay. Yeah, that would work.
the food trucks. But that's also a little bit out. There's Eagle's Nest, but Washington Township would have to approve the use of that, and they tend to be a little.
I think that we should do Slatington first,
yeah,
and then Slategale. If Slatington's
yeah.
absolutely not.
Okay. Alrighty, moving on.
right along.
Board member Kristen Zook accepted the position of vice president, and
she was not able to be here tonight, so we'll just have to, haze her in next month.
So that is everything for the meeting tonight. We are going to open it up for open discussion. If anyone has any comments or concerns, you can ask us now. I've been looking at my phone constantly, trying to see if anyone's commenting. I know Katya has a couple things for open discussion, so I'll let her start.
So a request was made for donating some bottled water to the schools, since if students forget their water bottle or they finish it, they can't refill because there are no water fountains. So that is something that I thought was a fair and legitimate request, and thought we could discuss whether or not that's something we want to do, to donate a couple cases of bottled water, like, to the office, and if a student doesn't have water, they can be sent to the office to get a bottle of water or something.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea just buying maybe 3 cases. When the school's on their last case, hey, pick us up 2 more cases. I'm fine with that. Water, a case of water is like $3 at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not like.
Okay.
I have something kind of to go along with that, and I don't. So, one of the things for Peters specifically, I don't think Slatington has snack time, do they?
No.
Probably not. Okay, so the Peters kids, one of my kids' teachers was very specific. Please make sure that your child brings a snack to school with them, because there isn't going to be any sharing. Now,
right.
I know some teachers in the past had kept like backup snacks for that to happen. I don't know if they're still doing that.
Remember
if
last
they
year
can.
we had that huge discussion on this topic?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right, we did.
Yeah, because I was pretty sure.
So, I know one of my kids' teachers did send him a request for a couple different things that parents wanted to donate, and one of those was individually packaged snacks. And I think that's where the problem comes in this year. So in previous years, I know my children's teachers often had like a giant tub of animal crackers. And I don't think the teachers so much minded buying like the $5 enormous tub of animal crackers. And then if a student didn't have snack, they got some of these. But because of COVID, we can't serve kids from the giant tub of animal crackers. So, and individually packaged snacks, as any parent knows, are way more expensive. And this is not, I don't think this is a budget item that teachers are really willing to cough up this year. And nor should they have to. They shouldn't be paying out of their own pocket to feed our kids snacks, I don't feel.
No.
So, there's a lag and this is weird.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, I sent in snacks for my kids' classes. I have no idea how long they're going to last. But this is something that it's different this year than in previous years, because the teachers really can't provide it at all.
Can we, not like in a cost-effective way, can we email the individual teachers and say, hey, is this a need that you have? Can we help you with it? Or would we just do it across the board? Like we can't really distribute it across the board.
Right. Well, maybe this is something that we need to address with the principals.
Okay.
You know, is this a need in your school?
Mm-hmm.
What did we decide?
I don't think anything came of it last year.
Because we got into remember it was like the book bag buddies and...
I know,
but it was all...
Yes,
yeah,
but it sort of turned into, instead of providing snacks, we were going to help with these book bags.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
then what happened with that is it kind of got taken over by food services,
right.
Which was great and awesome, but then we never actually ended up providing anything. So
all right, I'll email them and find out.
Find out if this is a need and how that looks. Like, should we just, drop off a few boxes of things at the office? Should it be like, one snack, like one box of individually packaged snacks per teacher? Like, what are we looking at,
Okay. I'll take care of that.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you had another open discussion, but I thought it went along with the
No,
water
yeah, it totally does. Hold on. I feel like I did, but I don't remember what it was right now.
I just remember the water bottles.
What else was I gonna bring
You
up?
did have something else.
Was it the fundraiser?
No.
There was something else.
We'll think about it.
I don't know.
There's nothing coming across Facebook, and
I had an idea for a
we got 9
fundraiser.
people watching.
I think I sent it to you guys.
Oh yeah, I didn't read that one, but yeah.
Okay, there's I can't remember what it's called now, but there is a nursery or a flower grower somewhere in Lehigh Valley that does fundraisers for they do fundraisers, so they have like they do a Christmas fundraiser with like poinsettias and wreaths.
Yes.
A lot of people do this.
So I thought maybe if we were up for it, I mean, it's just another idea to throw in there with like Book-a-thon or whatever. But it's benefiting a local Lehigh Valley
Right.
company at least, and I feel like a lot of people buy like mums and stuff.
Because I know other fundraiser companies, they'll, do the mums, do poinsettias, do a wreath, and you can either go there yourself
Yeah.
and like get a voucher and
Mhm.
pick up the product, or you as this, parent say, this is what we're selling, what do you want? You pick it up and then distribute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the marching band
does mums.
normally does a mum sale, and this year instead of selling the actual mums, they sold vouchers as well. And then you went to, I think it's Lehigh Valley Garden or something like that does theirs.
Yeah.
You went with your voucher and picked it up yourself. That was for social distancing purposes, so that they didn't have 30 people at the school picking up their mums. So
It was just something.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about Book-a-thon. I thought,
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember that.
Is that something we want to try for this year?
I don't think that we should try it for this year
Yeah.
because we already have 3 fundraisers now in the spring. Because we have
Yeah.
Booster
I mean, well, and
Gertrude. Are we still doing Gertrude Hawk?
Yes.
yes,
And then
Gertrude
we're
Hawk
gonna
is a
have-
staple.
Yeah.
I feel like the PTO has been selling Gertrude Hawk since before any of us even lived in the school district. And there are just certain people who expect there to be a Gertrude Hawk sale every year, so we're just not going to mess with that.
I think that's enough. Like it's,
Right.
or
Plus, go ahead.
if we're not going to do the vendor thing,
Mhm.
maybe we can see if it's too late to ask them about Christmas, and we could do a Christmas fundraiser with them instead. So that way we have something during the holidays.
Right. Going. I have some minutes, but go ahead. You can finish.
The other thing I thought of off the top of my head, I was thinking like we really need more like parents and like parents in the community to be more involved. It would be really awesome if we could just, even painting. We were at Slatington for 8 hours on Saturday painting the blacktop. And we had a lot of fun, and it was really good weather, and the kids ran around the neighborhood like it was 1985. Which was totally
If you live in this neighborhood up here by Slatington, we're sorry.
But I think that and Jess came out, and that was really helpful, and Elizabeth was here, and it was good. It's just, we could really use some more people. So I think as we're starting to get more people, I'm just going to manifest that more people are going to start volunteering. We should have like a Volunteer of the Year award. Somebody who's not a member of the PTO officers, who consistently strives to help us out anytime we can. We always try to recognize that person, like on Facebook, when we post pictures. But just, I don't know if parents would be
Right.
interested in, but I think that it would be like a good recognition for people who are consistently like volunteering to help us.
And I do agree with what you're saying. I think this year is just going to be hard to do something like that because we're not having the activities as we normal. But for next year, definitely, I would definitely 100% agree on that.
Yeah, I know it's hard this year.
Because we're not having the dances, we're not having the Christmas shops, we're not having bingos where we need the parents to come in. But definitely.
What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Why can't I remember? Did we already discuss that maybe?
I don't know.
Was it the other fundraiser?
I do, back to the holidays. If we are allowed to distribute gifts to the students, we really need to start thinking about what we want to do for them. Since I've been a member, we've done the drawstring bags, we did the blankets, we've done cups, we've done
what is our budget per
something, 4,000
per student?
We have, hold on, I'll pull
We
it
have
up.
lump sum.
So last year we spent 4,500 on Christmas gifts, and that is rounded up. Like I think it was a little less than that, but you know prices for things just go up.
Right.
Student population could flex. So yeah, we have budgeted $4,500 for Christmas gifts this year.
So it's generally,
$4.50.
I was gonna say $5.
Okay.
But I was
Yeah, because who knows how the
right.
student body has changed
Right.
too.
So
So
If
let's just say $5
if
per
anyone-
student.
anyone
approximately.
has any Christmas gifts for the students that ranges around water bottles, Kristen said water bottles were done. Around
Yeah.
$5. I don't know how we're gonna do that. Rebecca's asking, for the virtual children, we would also like to include them. Maybe we could leave things at the office with their name on it, and when the parents are available, they can go to the office and pick it up. I'm pretty sure the secretaries wouldn't have a problem with that. But any ideas? Because I'm going.
I mean, I know a couple popular ideas last year. First of all, the blankets were such a huge hit.
Yeah.
Like,
You didn't think
So-
Mrs. Belts for that.
they were such a huge hit that now we kind of have to like live up to this reputation. So our gift has to be cool. But a couple popular ideas last year were like beanies.
Okay, Kristen said they do pick up weekly, so that they
Okay,
would be
yeah.
able to get their gifts.
Beanies were popular. With like the situation this year, I also wonder if maybe like a good quality water bottle. But I mean, like, then we're looking at a little bit more money.
Right. I don't know. I feel like water bottles, everyone, like,
Yes.
for sports, everyone has water bottles
Yes.
already. I do like the idea of either a t-shirt or like sweatpants for the students.
Ooh, sweatpants
We
is
have plenty of time to shoot out an email. Hey, you know, obviously there's different sizes for each child, whether you're, kindergarten to 6th grade,
Right.
but got a general idea of sizes, and I think I can probably find a good deal on sweatpants with our logo on it somehow. If that's something that everyone is interested in for our gifts, please don't tell your children. We like them to be surprised, but I think sweatpants.
I kind of actually really like that idea.
I'm
I
pretty
really do too.
I'm pretty sure I could find it.
I want a pair.
I'm pretty sure. That's football. Oh, great. Can we get a yay, nay on sweatpants for the children? If I can find a decent price.
Yeah, I really like sweatpants or even t-shirts. I mean, like, one can never have too much Bulldogs gear.
Right.
I find my family, like, I mean, yes, we have 3 kids, we're in a lot of things, but every time we need one for something, like, they're all in the wash because we already had to wear them. So, maybe not everybody is as, like, school-spirited, but, yeah. I know I found a couple websites last year before we found the blankets for beanies and gloves that had reasonable prices. So, I don't think we should have too much
I
trouble.
got yes for sweatpants from Jackie.
Me and Jackie gonna wear our sweatpants while we go for walks.
definitely look into
Yes.
that.
So, okay, excellent.
All right, we'll move on. Any members watching us tonight, do you have any comments for us? Otherwise, we're going to shortly wrap up. We'll give it another 5 minutes.
Oh, I did have one other thing. This was not what I was thinking about earlier. This just came to me now. I don't know what my other topic was. We'll just... but about 2 years ago, I had started doing a blog for the PTO. This was kind of in an attempt to get people more involved. It didn't really materialize into much for multiple reasons. But it wasn't really getting a lot of traffic because the website wasn't up and running. The question is a blog something that the community would be interested in and we should try to revive? Or if it is, are there topics that you guys as a community would like to see on the blog? I just remembered what my other thing was I want to talk about. So that's something you guys can maybe think about is, give us some feedback, send us an email, comment on here now if you have an answer to that. But if it's something that you want, what do you want to see on a blog? Is it something we should revive and try to bring back? Or is it something that we don't need to spend time on?
I think how we've been posting when we did the sensory pass and we picked
right.
I think that's kind of almost substituting a blog almost because we're giving detail, we're showing them what we're doing, and on a blog that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. And on the website we have that the events page, events and fundraisers. I put them on the same page, but I can always split them up. We have all that same information anyway. So
yeah, I think as of right
now.
I
won't be really sad if I don't have to do another task.
Actually, can you send me those pictures so I can put them on the website?
Yes.
Okay.
And then what I had actually wanted to talk about, see, I knew it would come to me, is our bylaws.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Was it the beginning of last year? We finally came up with some bylaws. I want to thank Ellie if you're watching tonight. I know she put a lot of effort into finding them, putting them together. However, a few things have happened since we approved those bylaws that kind of made us think, hey, this maybe should be in the bylaws, or do we have something for this situation in the bylaws? And we've discovered that things aren't there, and that they need to be updated. So I would encourage all of you watching, go to our website, click on the link to the bylaws, and read them. They're not very long. This is part of the reason we've discovered that there are some things that probably should be in there that aren't. Read them and look at them, and give us some feedback on them, please, and let us know if there's something you think should be in there or something you think should not be in there. As a board, we're going to be working on looking at them ourselves and all kind of making our own notes, but it is a goal of ours to update these bylaws again.
They are when you go to our website, they are located on the resources page at the very top. It's you click on it and it leads you to a PDF file that you can look at.
So, feedback would be great because in all honesty, we don't catch everything. We don't see everything. So if we don't have to update them every single year because we realize, oops, maybe we should have added that, that would be great. So yeah, that's just a little request we're putting out there that you guys kind of let us know if there's anything you think needs to happen.
Everyone's quiet tonight on the
I
other
know.
side of the internet world.
It's Wednesday. Everybody's spent from virtual Wednesday. I also wanted to remind everybody that next Tuesday, I believe, is the parent engagement meeting.
Oh, yes.
The PTO is not directly involved in this, But they're really, really great meetings for getting more information, for getting your own thoughts out there. We were able to implement a couple of changes last year and bring up some points that the principals didn't even realize were issues within the home. So especially with the whole hybrid thing going on right now, and a lot of us, like, being much more responsible for our children's education than we expected to ever be. I encourage you guys to RSVP to that invite. I know Mr. Schneiderite sent out an invite to RSVP to. I do not know if Mr. Pine did. But you should have received an email, and normally they also post it on the school web pages. So that's next Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm actually looking to see if it's there now. I don't see it.
Just a reminder, join them. They're great.
They're really informative too, because they
Yeah.
always had like something that was relevant to like the school district and the students, but also education in general. Like I totally nerded out on the trauma informed, presentation that I think it was Mr. Pine and
Yes.
it was Mr. Pine gave. Like I never even heard of this before, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my kid. Like I need that. I need that information. So, and it is a very like hot topic, trauma informed like education and stuff right now.
Well, and I think that is actually going to be even more relevant this year because I think a lot of kids are really struggling with life in general.
Yeah. So even if you don't have like a topic that you want to bring up, but you're kind of nerdy and like learning weird things like me, it's good to come. It's fun.
Well, and I learned a lot of stuff about like why the schools do things different ways and things just by going to them last year. I think it was very helpful as a parent to see a little bit more the administrative side of the elementary schools. Mm-hmm. It's not stuff that really comes up at school board meetings or things like that. That's a very different administrative part. And as parents, all we see is, what our kids come home with, and we're like, well, what is this? So I think it also increased communication a lot between the schools and the parents. So
I think it's on Zoom, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
it's a
you
Zoom
have
meeting.
to RSVP to this invite, and then you'll be sent the Zoom link. I'm hosting a small watch party here, so if you'd like to join me, there probably will be children in the background. So,
Alrighty.
alrighty.
If you guys have nothing else, we got about a minute, and we're gonna wrap up. We thank you for joining us either tonight or at a later time. Anyone who is watching at a later time and has any suggestions for us, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, November 11th at 6 o'clock. Same place, here virtually.
Same cozy location. So, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you again next month. Okay.
Make sure you're totally off.